such a beautiful day. It feels good to be back on the bike. We had went out last night for a little bit. We got John's tire swapped out from his older bike. So we went for a little ride. And my sister, she's been sick for the past 2 weeks. She ended up with COVID. And don't know how she got it. She was only around 2 people. So one of the 2 got it to her. And so her husband's got it, and you know, her husband's family's got it now. I mean, COVID's real, but I'm not gonna get no shot. I don't care. And she already said that she won't gonna get a shot either, because she didn't get the vaccine. And she said even after all this, she's still not gonna get the vaccine. So I'm gonna go get some, she wants some cuties and a cantaloupe. And she said, I'd like to have a salad, so I'm gonna go get her some stuff to make a salad. And I'm gonna drop it off at her house on the porch and then walk away. To say that I just feel blessed that I myself and my family have not been exposed to COVID. I mean, we've been exposed. I mean, everybody's probably carrying it or something, but we haven't got it. And I just, you know, with all the surgeries I've had to go to and all the doctor's appointments I've been to, you know, the Lord's really taking care of me and my family during this time. So, you know, I just feel that if I can do something little for somebody, then I'm going to do it. I hate that anybody gets it. It's bad. But before my breast cancer diagnosis, I was working as a phlebotomist, so, you know, I was in the hospital. I seen what it done to people and how bad it made them feel. I wouldn't want that on anybody. And then I got a couple errands to run for my husband. He wants some parts for his I forgot what you call that thing. But you can, it's like a weed eater, and you can put all kinds of cool attachments on it, whatever them things are called. But he wants an attachment, and so I'm gonna go get that, take it to him. I got my backpack, so I'm sure I can carry it. Alright everybody, I'm here at Fulan. I'll go in and grab her some stuff. So I got her some stuff. Now I'm on my way to her. Y'all, so I've dropped off that stuff for her. She smiled at me from the door and waved. So hope she gets to feeling better soon. To my next errand. Since I'll be out a lot today, I'll just go ahead and give a little history of everything that's been going on. I've mentioned a couple times in several of my videos about, you know, the breast cancer and everything. So it all started in August 2020, and I noticed a lump. So I went to the doctor and had a mammogram. It was confirmed that, you know, there was a lump. Then I went to have a biopsy later on that month, and August 31st of 2020 they called me and confirmed that it was breast cancer, that it was stage 1A, grade 2. So that's early stage, but, you know, still slow growing. You know, stage 1 is very slow, and then stage 4 is like really fast. I mean, grade 1 is slow growing, and grade 4 is fast growing. And I'm just thankful mine was like stage 2. Well, they ordered a MRI a little later, and when they did the MRI, they seen that there was 2 more lumps behind the one that I had already found. And I'm not gonna lie, cancer is hard, not just on the patient, but it's hard on the family. You know, if you know your husband and your children, you know, you just think the worst whenever it comes into your head, and it's just hard to grasp. And I cried and cried, and my husband cried, and we fought, and you know, and it was rough. But we just continued just to pray. We had everybody praying for me and for John, because he had just wrecked his motorcycle in July of 2020, and then I get diagnosed in August of 2020. So it was very stressful at that moment in time, and then you got Christmas coming up, and you know, it's hard. But everybody was praying for me and John for healing, you know, giving the doctors the knowledge, and you know, to treat it right and treat it good. And we just left everything in the Lord's hands. So we decided together, and you know, husband and wife, that I would just do a right-sided mastectomy and just take that one off, and you know, not worry about the other one since it wasn't affected. And yeah, everybody talking about, well, it'll come back in the other one, it'll come back in the other one. Well, you know, if you talk it up, it'll happen. And we don't want to talk it up, we want to pray it away. So we just, again, went with the right-sided, you know, took that all the cancer off. And whenever they went in, they found they take lymph nodes just to make sure, and it was in 2 of the 3 lymph nodes. So once they took it out, the plastic surgeon comes in, and he puts in what's called an expander, and basically what that does is that just holds the skin of the breast, so that when I do whatever reconstruction route I go, that the skin will stay intact and be good. So that was put in place, and that happened in October 21st, 2020. And they sent everything off to pathology, and the margins were clear. There was no cancer left. They said they got it all, and that my oncotype, no, the oncotype, that determines whether or not you're going to need chemo. And my oncotype was low enough that I did not need chemo. So I was just thanking the Lord for that, because chemo is just so hard. And then with the lymph nodes being 2 out of 3, they would want me to go through radiation. And that's another thing. I don't like chemo. I don't like radiation. It just is so harsh on your body. I mean, yes, people have benefited from it and lived long after it, but I didn't want it, so I refused it. I did not undergo radiation. So whenever they, in the pathology and everything, my cancer was estrogen and progesterone positive. That means that it feeds off the hormones in my body. And you know, there's several things that produces those hormones. That's the ovaries in a woman, and your adrenal glands, and then also the fat that you have built up in your body. You know, it produces it, and it feeds off of it. And because I have a family history of breast cancer and ovarian cancer, they wanted to go ahead and take out my ovaries. And so we were going to set that up, you know, while I was, you know, in the process of, you know, healing from the mastectomy. We were going to go ahead and take out my ovaries. And the day of surgery was scheduled for January 14th, 2021. And you know, of course, with COVID coming around and all that, my husband couldn't go with me. He couldn't be in the hospital. And he drops me off out front. I go inside, and I walk to registration. I give them my name and everything, and she's like, I need you to go over there. She pointed, and that's the last thing I remember. I remember waking up in the emergency room. My head was hurting. and the room was spinning every time I would turn my head, and they said that I had blacked out, and I busted my head open. I ended up needing 3 staples in the back of my head. And when they discharged me and I got home, you know, just the thought of whenever I try to sit up, the room would spin, or if I would turn my head left or right, the room would spin, and I'm just like, I don't understand. It's scary. I was crying, and my stomach would get into a knot. I never got nauseous. I never threw up, but I messaged my doctor and told her what was going on, and I told her that, you know, the room looks like it's spinning every time I turn my head, and she said, I believe you have what's called BPPV, which is benign positional proximal vertigo. So she ordered me to go to physical therapy, and they have this thing called the Epley maneuver, and it's, you know, just movements that they do, and you can do them at home. She taught me how to do it at home, but you know what it does is you have crystals that are in your ear, and when I hit that floor, it knocked them loose, and it caused them to float, and that floating is what causes the vertigo and the spinning and your balance going away. You know, you can't hardly walk, and it was so scary, and I could feel myself getting better, but there was like just still the test they put me through. You know, the physical therapist, she's like, I see something that there's something else there, that she's like, she called it a lesion. She said, I think there's a lesion somewhere. And they wanted to do an MRI, but however, when the plastic surgeon put that expander in there, that expander cannot go into an MRI machine. It's like, you know, with the magnetic field, it cannot go in. So they said that they can't do an MRI until I have reconstruction, and my reconstruction wasn't set until March. But they contacted the surgeon, and they were able to move it up to February. So I underwent reconstruction, and there's so many options you can do nowadays. It's like, you know, a lot of people call them foods, which are fake boobs, you know, the silicone or the saline and stuff like that. I didn't want that fakeness in my body, you know. They don't look real, they don't feel real. And I come across this option, it's called it's a DIEP flap procedure. And basically what it did is it took my own belly fat and the skin on my belly to reconstruct my breast, so it would feel natural, and it was awesome. You know, that it's part of me that is up there. You know, it's not fake. And we decided to go through that procedure, and it went really good. I had no complications. Everything went great. And come March, the doctor released me to have an MRI. So when they did the MRI on my head, they found a small tumor sitting on the balance nerve that runs from the inner ear to my brain. And he said that, you know, nobody knows that if that's why I passed out. Nobody knows to this day exactly why I passed out. And, you know, only God does. And I just feel that it was God's divine intervention. You know, yeah, I passed out and busted my head and had staples, and, you know, I didn't have my surgery. But the more I prayed about it, I feel that he did not want me having that surgery. So, because by taking my ovaries out, I forced my body into menopause. So, and it's hard on a lady and a woman to be forced into menopause. So I just feel that it wasn't meant to be. And but we're monitoring that tumor. I went through physical therapy. I was able to walk, hold my balance, and I'm back on a motorcycle. It's my therapy through all this. And the treatment that the two options, well, there's three, but the two options besides just leaving it alone and not messing with the tumor is, one, they can open up my head on the side of my ear and remove that tumor. But in doing so, he said that I will have immediate loss of balance the moment I wake up. He said, you will have to learn to walk again. He said, some people can do it in 6 months. He said, some it takes a year. So, it's scary. And then the other option is radiation. And they said it's done like, they call it like a cyber knife. And it's like right there on it. You know, it's pinpoint, it's guided by a machine. And he said that it's a one and done treatment. They don't have to cut me or nothing. And he said that the effects of my balance will happen over time. He said your brain, by doing radiation, your brain will have time to compensate your balance. And with either surgery or radiation, there is always a 50-50 chance that I would be deaf. So we decided that we'd have an MRI about 3 months later. So March, April, May, and June. In June, I had another MRI, and the size of the tumor had not changed. So me and my husband, we prayed about it, we talked about it, and we decided that we were just going to watch it, you know, and another 3 months have another MRI. And if it hasn't changed, then let it be. You know, don't need to cut on me if I don't need to be cut on. Don't need to radiate my brain if I don't need to radiate my brain. So, and that's how we're doing it. And I still had another phase of reconstruction to go through. And I underwent that July 15th. And he said, you know, a 6-week recovery. But I have been feeling so good. You know, my incisions have healed up good. And the stitches come out to Friday, which is tomorrow. And you know, I'm so thankful and blessed that things have worked out the way they have. And I just don't know what no more to say is, and you know, God has been in control through all of it. But I'm doing really good, you know, but I do have a lot of mental stress, anxiety going on. I had it, you know, from the time I got diagnosed. It's just like, you know, panic, because my mom died of breast cancer, and, you know, it's just so much goes through your head. You know, am I going to die from this? What's going to happen? You know, you think about your kids, your husband, you know, your family. And it's been a long battle, and you know, the mental struggle is real. It's very stressful, and I'm just thankful that I have family and friends that I can talk to and vent to, and you know, this motorcycle is part of my therapy. So it really, really, really helps. Alright, so that's number 2 for today. I've seen 2 motorcycles today. I wonder how many more I'm gonna see. Harnett County now has an orange ambulance. What in the world? That is so ugly. So the ambulance is actually a Campbell University. It's a simbulance. That means it's a simulation of an ambulance, and it's used for training. But that was my little battle that I've had from August to now. And I mean, they're monitoring me. I have to undergo routine mammogram on the left side to make sure that no cancer has come in, and they're going to keep an eye on my ovaries to make sure I don't have any cancer going on down there. But going through something like that, it really makes you realize, you gotta spend time with your family and your friends and your loved ones. You can't just, you just got to. Family is everything. And even though most of my family is gone, I will have to tell you that my co-workers that I had when I worked, and people from high school that I talked to, and people on Facebook that are not even nowhere near me, have prayed and reached out and made sure that I was good, if I needed anything. It's just amazing how when you feel so down and out and lost, if you give it to God, God will make sure that you're loved. This is stop number 3. Grocery store, then Brandy's, and then now here. So this is stop number 3. Wonder how many stops I'm gonna have today. Let's see. All right, now I'm off to errand number 4. That was motorcycle number 3 I seen. Hey. Huh? You were calling me for what?
I was calling you to use you as a test subject.
Oh, I'm a test subject. Okay. All right. Hold on one second. All right, I'm at stop number 4. I gotta come get some stuff for John. What's up, everybody? All right, so leaving area number 4. As you can see, I have a weed eater type motor and also the Edger shoved in this backpack of mine. Now I'm heading out to Spring Lake for stop number 5. Well, I'm having to keep my head in like this little weird position because of the attachment. Having to keep my head turned to the side, sort of aggravating. couch. Sort of feels weird. The motorcycle is gone. He's riding it. OMG. There's like this motorcycle that's over there at the house, and he's a truck driver. And I'm always seeing that motorcycle over there, not riding, but it's gone today. Woohoo! It's a little difficult riding like this. I'm having to like crouch over. They can't sit up because of the handlebar for the attachment. But hey, I'm making it. Killing my shoulders, I know that, and my neck, but I'm almost to John. I can get this off my back. Hey, bud.
I missed you.
I missed you too. I think it's funny looking.
What?
Let me carrying this. And that right there is a spot right in there my husband wrecked. I've got that dropped off with him, and he needs an air filter for his mower. And I forgot to get the little tools that go with that edger and that power head. So I'm heading back down to Womble's in Lillington to go get that, and I have an hour and 15 minutes. I'm sure I got plenty of time. Oh yeah. And it's weird, it's like when we're sitting around the house, we're like, oh, we should talk about this when we're out on the motorcycle, or we should talk about that. When you get on this motorcycle, it's just like, what was I thinking about? Like, I don't even remember. I mean, it just like clears your head, and it's freedom, it's fun, it's therapy. I mean, big time therapy. And I may be only 2 weeks post-op from surgery, but I feel amazing. Even though, you know, they cut me open, you know, my sides were cut open. You know, I got, you know, a scar stitches going across my breast, you know, hey, you think, you know, like most people would be sitting around the house and doing nothing, and, you know, I took one pain pill. The second day I was at home, and I've not taken any pain pills yet. So, you know, it can be done. You don't, it's all in your head. It's like, and I don't have a very big pain tolerance. My husband can vouch for that. But, you know, I just try to suck it up and be brave, and, you know, because pain pills, they're harder on your body, and it takes longer to recover. Most people get addicted to pain pills. I don't want to be down that route. You know, I got kids to think about. I got a husband to think about. And, you know, if I'm addicted to pain pills and they suffer, and, you know, I know some people can't help whenever they get addicted. And, you know, if you know somebody that is, I mean, just be there for them. Don't look down on them. Help them. You know, try to get them out of it. You know, there's ways to get off of pain pills. I mean, just get help. I mean, ask for help. Whenever I was going through my mental issues with my breast cancer, and, you know, getting deep down in a hole, and, you know, I asked for help. And, you know, yeah, they put me on a medication, and I told them my fears. I don't want to be a zombie. You know, I want to function, and, you know, I still want to live. And, you know, I'm on a very small milligram of medication to help with my anxiety and the panic attacks and depression, and it's not crippling me. It's not making me a zombie. And, you know, it never hurts to ask for help. Right. I'm at the Morris shop. I'm gonna get him a air filter. Hopefully they have one. Right, so they don't have that part. So now I'm gonna come back to Womble so I can get that oil and stuff for him. And then I gotta go down to the X-Mart store. Well, X-Mart's dealer to get the air filter. Alright, so I got the tools and everything. So now I'm heading down to the X-Mart dealer. Get that air filter. There's a motorcycle back there. I got his air filter, and the last I looked, he's still in the same place. So I'm heading back. I should have went around. I just started daydreaming. I'm like, whoa, I'm just out here having fun. Totally should have went around that car. Hi, buddy, I'm back. I love you. Should have took the other way home. Should have took 210. Well, I've had fun today. I am going to head back to the house, take a break. I'm hungry. And work on putting this video together. Alright, so let's see what I've done today. Wow, 65 miles. And it took me about it says 3 hours and 16 minutes. But I did stop it whenever I went into the bank and into the stores. So, not too bad today, y'all. Thank y'all for watching. Please like and subscribe. There's our little Casper. I'm gonna go let him in. Yeah. And like I always say, keep it real and on two wheels.